Today you asked me to talk about the positive aspects of software engineering as a follow-up to the video I made last time about the negative ones. This video was requested by Unraised Chunk in the comments below, so if you, just like them, are interested in hearing about something from me, then ask away. I will provide around 4 main positive aspects of a career in software engineering, so let's begin with the first one, the overall job market. In the previous video, I mentioned how the entry-level job market is a bit of a gong show in this industry. That still holds true today. Not like much has changed in the roughly 3 weeks since I posted the last video, but I feel that I need to provide a bit more color on this topic. First of all, the entry-level job market being awful isn't exactly a thing that is unique to software engineering, and as I said at the end of the last video, software engineers actually have it comparatively easy. This is because companies are thirsty for developers, and every business needs software these days, so there is a lot of opportunity out there. Another important thing is that as a junior developer, you do still work on real things that hopefully have some business impact. This means that your experience, even as a junior developer, contributes to your overall career quite a bit. I will talk about career progression in more detail in a moment, but for now, I still have a bit left in this section. The bit I'm referring to is the fact that once you do get more experience under your belt and become a mid-level or senior software engineer, you become very valuable to businesses. Therefore, the job market becomes incredibly open and full of exciting opportunities. As an example, I could reach out to a bunch of my friends at this point and have a new job within a week. The job market for experienced devs has been this good for a long time, long before the entire job market became overheated in 2021, and I personally expect it to remain very good for developers for a long time. After all, it'll take a long time for people to train up to satisfy all the demand there exists for software devs globally. Alright, that's enough about the job market. It's now time to continue the thread I started about career progression. Man, I feel that this awesome aspect of a career in software engineering is not emphasized enough sometimes. So let me explain to you why I think this is incredibly important by not talking about software engineering at all. Instead, let's talk about a fairly lucrative job of being a financial analyst. Just like with software engineering, a lot of people want a career in financial analysis, and they do a lot to break in. First, most people get a business degree and then take on some job in the world of business. Quite often, this job is not being a financial analyst yet, but rather some other related job with little to no career progression. While doing this job, the aspiring financial analyst will study on their own time to pass the Chartered Financial Analyst exams. Once they do, they finally often become a junior financial analyst, and only then do they start progressing up the career ladder. In addition to that, even if the person broke into the financial analysis role early, to rise through the ranks, you often need an MBA, the CFA designation, or sometimes both. This is a pain, and that career takes a lot of time, effort, and money to get to the very well-paying senior positions. This is how a lot of industries operate. Even doctors have to go through a bachelor's degree, medical school, and then residency to get to the high-paying jobs. And then there is software engineering. As mentioned before, once you break into the industry by getting a job as a junior developer, you're already inside of the software engineering career. You get to contribute real work, and the progression is reasonably fast too. It's often expected at large tech companies that you go from junior to mid-level in about 2 years, and from mid-level to senior software engineer in another 3. Some people take more time to get to each level, and that's okay, life is not a race. But this career progression is incredibly fast. From what I know, in the traditional engineering world, you start as an engineer in training. After roughly 2 years, you become a junior engineer. Then, in about another 3, you become a mid-level engineer, and maybe in another 5, you finally get to senior. Now, this actually makes me slightly uneasy, as title inflation is a fairly common occurrence in tech it seems. But the money, cool work, and responsibilities that come with each new title make me willing to turn a blind eye on that problem. Oh, one last thing, the career in software engineering does not actually end at becoming senior. There's a lot more room to grow beyond that. The common career ladder after senior is staff software engineer, senior staff software engineer, principal software engineer, and finally, fellow software engineer. Those roles are actually relatively less common and significantly harder to break into. This is partly because the responsibilities and expectations that come with each new title are much higher than for the preceding title. This means that it's not only difficult to get into, but also that many people simply do not want to put in that much effort to get there. One of the reasons that many people don't want to go for promotion to staff and beyond is because of the pay at prior levels. So let's talk about that. I mean, I'm sure most people know that pay in the field of software engineering is quite competitive, but still. After all, as already mentioned, there is significantly higher demand for mid-level and senior software engineers than there is supply of them, so the pay is very good. Additionally, the pay becomes quite ridiculous in some geographies and for certain types of companies. As an example, it's not super rare to see new grads making 6 figures in total compensation. Now, a good chunk of that compensation is stock, which, as I mentioned in the last video, exposes you to a lot of financial risk. However, with risk comes reward, and some people become very wealthy based on the appreciation of the stock they were granted. But that's the thing, even for smaller local companies in low and medium cost of living cities, software developers get paid quite well. This means that you will be able to have a comfortable quality of life regardless of where you live if you're a software engineer. However, this is YouTube, so I gotta sensationalize this stuff. So let's talk about the average compensation of staff, senior staff, and principal software engineers at Google based on information from levels.fyi. First is staff software engineer, with an average total compensation of almost $500,000 a year. Next is senior staff with an average total compensation package of almost $700,000 a year. And last is principal software engineer, coming in with a compensation package of over $1 million a year. Okay, let's come back to earth for a moment here and look at this with a bit more scrutiny. As you can see from these pictures, the majority of the compensation comes in the form of stock compensation and bonuses. You can't rely on either being steady through the years, but it's still a lot. Another thing worth noting is that you need a lot of experience and effort to get there. Hope that was an educational experience for you. If you want a more detailed analysis of pay from someone with more experience than me, then I strongly recommend checking out the video on the trimodal distribution of compensation for software engineers from the Pragmatic Engineer. I will link it in the description below. I'm sure you'll find it very insightful. Alright, I think that's enough about the broad market stuff. We really should start talking about the job itself. Allow me to give you the gist of what I have to say about the work in software industry. It's the IGN verdict.
It has a little something for everyone.
Now, here's what I'm talking about in this case. There are companies making software products for basically every industry around the world. This is because software provides an immense productivity boost for a business, even if software isn't the end product of the business. Therefore, if you want to, you can be a software developer for absolutely anyone, hence being able to reap the economic benefits of a job in software while also contributing to a cause that you are extremely interested in. Are you into wildlife conservation? Well, you could be a part of a team that develops software that tracks animal populations on a reserve. Are you into cars? Well then, you could be a part of a team making firmware for the newest cars. Are you into finance and trading? Then you could join a high-frequency trading fund and help them shave microseconds of transactions in the ornamental gourd market. Obviously, some industries will pay more than others, but overall, a software engineer will not end up destitute. As an example, I'm really into infrastructure, so I work for a company that provides data center scale networking equipment, and the problem space is quite interesting to me. Another thing is that the "it has a little something for everyone" statement actually applies not just to the industry, but to the type of work you get to do as well. There's a lot of different work out there that can be interesting for all sorts of people. Do you like making pretty things that you can show off to friends? Then consider going into front-end web development. Do you think crunching through terabytes of data a second sounds awesome? Then consider going into data engineering. Do you like making tools for other developers to use? Then consider going into tools and infrastructure development. Other industries worth mentioning include machine learning, graphics, game development, mobile development, security, compilers, human-computer interaction, artificial intelligence, robotics, cloud computing, high-performance computing, embedded development, and so much more. The main commonality between all of these jobs is the ability to problem solve. In other words, if you can systematically and methodically break down problems and come up with solutions to them, you should be able to do a large number of these jobs. The jobs primarily differ in the domain knowledge required for each one, but that's sort of expected. As for me, I already mentioned it, I like infrastructure, so I'm really lucky to be working on the operating system that our company develops. There are a lot of fun problems to solve in that area. Anyway, I think that's everything that I wanted to say, so let's wrap up this video. Alright, in this video I shared with you my views on the positive aspects of a career in software engineering. I went through the positives of the job market, career prospects and progression, pay, and the job itself, which I hope gave you a good overview of what this career has to offer. I hope that this video was useful to you and helps you make an informed opinion on the software engineering career overall. Obviously, you cannot make a well-informed opinion by knowing just the positives that are associated with this career, so I suggest you check out my other video talking about the negative aspects of a career in software engineering as well. If you would like me to talk about something, then please ask me in the comments below. I've actually made a couple videos based on viewer requests before, just like this one, so I'd love to hear from you. Either way, thank you for your time, bye.